So this is the desktop of the remote machine, and then we enter the password here. Okay, now look, now what we need to do is we need to go to the web apps and delete the existing WAR file. Now when you will be deleting, you may not be able to delete because the Tomcat is running, so always remember to close the Tomcat before you delete the file. So we go back to the Tomcat here and we shut it down. Yeah, we stop it. It may take a little bit of time because I think the machine is slow. Okay, once the Tomcat is stopped, then you go and you delete the existing var file. Yeah, now when you are deleting the var file, you also delete the corresponding folder, because what happens is whenever you deploy a var file in Tomcat, Tomcat expands the var file and creates a folder with the same name. Okay, so delete both because we want to put the latest one. Okay, now where is the latest? How do I get the latest var file? We have saved the latest war file in H drive, and H drive I am able to access from the remote host, which is test. Okay, so from my virtual machine I can access the H drive. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I click here. This is my output folder. Now this is my latest var file. Yeah, so I go and I simply copy it in the web apps. I don't need to change anything. All right, now all I have to do is I have to go to the bin and start the Tomcat. Now one thing, Tomcat creates a log of everything. Okay, so generally it's better to, if there is some error, maybe you can use the log files to debug it. Okay, so generally you, whenever you are restarting the Tomcat, just remove all the old um, log files. So maybe you can create a folder called old and put all the log files there. So now when the Tomcat will run, it will create all the log files afresh. Okay, now I just have to restart the Tomcat. So I go there and I say start. It may take a bit of time. Alright, so Tomcat has started. Now I will use this team to see the, so that's the website that I see. Alright, so can you see here, this has been printed what, 5 times. Yeah, so hello was printed one, welcome today's, well, 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Yeah, now look, I'm running this page on Friday, January 8 at this time. Okay, from SJ123. Now I suppose you would be running this page later on, maybe on Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when you have the lab session. So you should see a different date. Okay, so right now you're seeing January 8, probably you'll see that that the date is changed. Okay, so we have integrated your existing website, which is Task1 website, into and made it dynamic. Now what you need to do is read the course description. Okay, and you need to incorporate module information into it. All right, now let's do a little bit of module information here, which means maybe we can add all the existing modules just below the welcome page. Now ideally you should have a new page, or I don't know how you want to do it, but maybe you have a new page called new link called module information, but just to test it we will put all the module information right here. So let's go back to the Java to the Eclipse and do that. All right, now I go back to my Eclipse, I go back to my um, old index. Now look, the old index has this link, okay, which says please click here to get the module date. I just simply paste it here. Okay, let me briefly tell you about this, that how is it doing the work. You'll probably cover some of this in your lectures. What I'm saying here is I'm saying put a href, which I'm sure all of you would be familiar with. Then I'm saying controller servlet. What I actually mean here is that give the command to the controller servlet. Now you would ask, what is a controller servlet? So I show you it here. So go to the Eclipse one, yeah, and we will see the web.xml file. So web.xml file is within this, within your web content, then web inf and web.xml. Now this is a design view and this is a source view. So let's go to the source view. Now source view has these many servlets. Okay, now let's focus on this. So it says the name of the servlet is controller servlet and the corresponding Java class is this. So what is happening is whenever a request is made for this controller servlet, so actually this Java class is being invoked. So in your this JSP, now you are saying what's the URL? You are saying controller servlet, right? So this class is being invoked. We will just open this class in a moment. Now let's open this class. So how do I get to the class? I say this one. So what it says, uk.ac.brunel. Now what is uk? uk.ac.brunel. So uk is a package, ac is a package, Brunel is a package, CS1001 is a package, controller is a package, then controller servlet.java is a class. So I go there and I see the package. Now look, right now they are not in a hierarchy. Yeah, so maybe if you want to see it in a hierarchy, you can click here, you say package presentation, you say hierarchical. Now you will see them in hierarchy then. All right, so we have uk ac brunel.cs1001 package. Inside that we have a controller servlet. Now this controller servlet, what is happening is when you are making a request from here, all right, this the doGet method of the controller servlet is being called. Right, now the doGet method actually is passing the request to doPost method. So doPost method is the main method that is doing the task. Now a bit of this you will be covering in your lab sessions, which is controller servlet is a controller whose task is just to delegate the work. So this is basically following an MVC structure, which is model view controller. So this is our controller which just passes the task to some other classes. Now it passes the task to, so what it says is, it says first it says this, it says str mode request.get parameter mode. Now look, if I go back here, so what have you passed? You says controller servlet and you say what? Mode equals module. So it means the value of the mode parameter is module. So it says get the mode parameter. So request.get parameter mode, this, and then we have written code here, if str mode dot equals module, pass the control to this servlet. Alright, which is the second servlet. So we go and see the second servlet, which is module controller here. And this module controller, what it is doing really is, it's getting all the module details from module manager. So now let's go back to the module manager. Module manager is here. Sorry, it's in the manager class. Now this module manager is actually doing the main business logic has been put in the module manager. So what module manager, I mean, you go to the file on your own. Basically what it's doing is it's creating the database, URL, okay, creating a URL connection, reading all the lines, setting a module info bean object and returning that object in the form of a list. Okay, now what we will do is, so we go back here and what we have said is action equals list module. So now if you see the module controller action, now you have a, we are saying now this is important. In the module controller servlet you are saying request or get parameter action, yeah, and what's the value of the action that we are passing? List module. Okay, so that's where you are saying str action and we are saying if str action list module, then next page should be list module.jsp. Now it may happen that you may want to create a page, let's say not only list all the modules, maybe you want to say, add details to a module or added details to a module, then you will probably